Yo, Saf here. Welcome back to the Talk and Play Birdcast. Appreciate you for being here. If you read the title, you know what time it is. Insecure time. We're recapping episode 4 of season 5 entitled Faulty. Okay. This one was interesting because on several different occasions throughout the show or this episode, I found myself like confused as to why some of these grown men was having trouble just communicating, simple feelings and thoughts to other characters on the show. We'll get into that in the review though. Let me play my theme music or intro music or whatever. And then we'll jump in. So we open the show off with a song, Insecure always starting the episode off with some fire music. This week, it's Dial Tone by Phony People. Now, when I Shazam this record, I could not find it on Spotify. And I like Phony People. I've listened to their music before. They're dope. Perfect for this scene, this whole beach scene, this black beach party vibe that they got going on. Their music is perfect for this kind of scenario. But not on Spotify. Maybe it'll be on there by the time season 5 wraps. Either way, fire song. We got some dope shots of the beach and everybody on there. That's for Nathan's 1 year barbershop anniversary. Fun fact, I did not know the name of his shop was called The Clips. And that's fire to me because hip hop. If you know anything about hip hop, The Clips, legendary rap duo, you know what I'm saying? Currently, we're not gonna talk about currently, but I thought that was dope that his shop was named The Clips, and it's a barbershop where they cut hair, they clip hair. I don't know. Dope, but fired the whole sunscreen slash regular ass Aveeno scene. That shit was funny. They was making comments about black people frolicking, and I was just frolicking yesterday. Like, the banter on this show is funny. I also kind of took notice that Issa was doing her, social duty to black people by making sure she's portraying us doing things that we should be doing, like using sunscreen at the beach. And yes, we know our skin is magnificent and it does wonderful things in the sun that allow for us to maintain ourselves at the beach for extended periods of time, but we still do need to protect ourselves with sunscreen. Issa make sure we put that in there. Well, kinda, because it just turned out to be regular ass Aveeno. But I like when her and the writers team and all that stuff, they do stuff like that. They made it a thing to make sure condoms is in the show as well too, because we should be protecting ourselves when we having sex with people. So dope. I love when Insecure has these little moments where it be like, niggas really don't do this as they should. So I'm gonna make sure we kind of normalize it because they should be doing this. But shout out to Risha for recognizing that was just regular ass Aveeno, and she was looking great pretty much this entire episode. But we'll get more into that in a few. Shout out to Risha. The next scene, we back with Issa, Molly, and Kelly, and they having a little girl talk or whatever. We got an update on Molly's situation. Remember, on the episode beforehand, we saw her closing out the show on a date with some gentleman. She was looking a little thirsty towards the, very beginning, but then she caught herself, dialed it back. You know what I'm saying? The dude came through. They had lunch, dinner, I don't know. But she said she enjoyed the date, but the sex wasn't hitting right. So she back in the streets, you know what I'm saying? She on the beach, eyeballing everybody, you know what I'm saying? She trying to find her next prospect. Kelly is offering to help her with vagina maintenance, I guess, or just overall vagina satisfaction. Just girl talk, just friends being, girly or whatever. It's dope. It's dope. But Issa, obviously, she is still kind of bummed out about Nathan. And then on the flip side, we got Crenshaw on Twitter being shady in the comments after she announced her like partnership deal with the water company. So we back to regular insecure BS after after the gripping episode where Lawrence tried to be a daddy and Condola was like, no. So I don't know, it's dope seeing Issa and the gang again. What was also dope to me, but might not have been dope to Issa, was her conversation with Nathan. She was trying to congratulate him for, they pulled together a successful event. But it's Issa, the awkward black girl, so she found a way to make it awkward, talking about the weather might be like 79, and she was like 81. And then she asked him, what you think it is? And he's like, I have to go around you to the other side of the area that we have for the beach. I will holler at you in a second. So Issa didn't really get to, you could tell she was trying to like feel Nathan out or whatever. Cause then in the next part of the scene, she was like, oh, he acting standoffish. This was after she gets hit by a random beach ball. And I'm only mentioning this because it was funny to me. And the girl was like, oh, Rainbow Girl, can you at least throw us the fucking ball back? And Issa walked off like I would. You're not about to hit me with no fucking beach ball and expect me to join in on the game. Deuces. But Kelly, I noticed she's still not drinking. That's what's up. Molly over here eyeballing Nathan's homeboys. And then they invite, Issa and Molly and Kelly for a game of spades. And this was a little bit triggering for me, right? Because I used to be one of the niggas that did not know how to play spades. And I'm telling people like, hey, somebody teach me. Granted, I know how to play spades now, but I'm not as good as I could be. Had somebody taught me when I was asking back in the day, maybe I'll be a better spades player. But I done won a few games, lost a few games, many games. But it is what it is, because Kelly and Molly, they on the table calling themselves librarian because they got all the books. And they are roasting these niggas who are losing to them. Somebody made comment about his feet being a size 14s and all that. Of course, Molly, she on the block. So she like, oh yeah, I'm going to take note of that. Bigfoot ass nigga, yeah. And my other dog, though, Mr. Nine, Kelly had to let him know that's nothing to be proud of. You having a size 9 shoe or foot. And also, nigga, round up when you in public, because don't embarrass yourself. I don't have those problems. My feet are large as fuck, way bigger than the size 9. But I do understand. I understand why Kelly was telling that nigga like, man, ain't nothing to be proud of, little foot nigga. Make sure you round up when you're around people and stop embarrassing yourself. Now, Issa is supposed to be paying attention to the table so she can learn how to play spades in this scene, but she catches Nathan and Risha a little close or whatever, and first thing come to their head or her head, are they fucking? And I was thinking it's possible, but then I was also thinking like, nah, but it's possible, but I don't think so. I feel like Risha just the home girl at the shop or whatever. Like, if you are black, then you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Especially guys. We go to the barbershop or whatever. Well, I don't necessarily have to go to the barbershop, but in my days where I was a frequent visitor of the barbershop because I had to keep my fade lined and fresh, there's always this dynamic going on where half the shop is cutting hair, half the shop is women doing hair or doing nails or whatever the case might be. Like, it's a full stop area, whatever. Most black barbershops are like that. They at least have 1 or 2 girls in there that do hair in the shop or whatever. I feel like that's what Risha is. She just one of the homegirls that has a booth at the shop. She cool with all the guys or whatever. She look good. It is what it is. But she hairstylist. She bought a business, and all of these gentlemen in the shop are her coworkers or family or whatever the case might be. But good question, because I was thinking the same thing initially. But like I said, I understand the barbershop dynamic, so I was leaning more towards no. But I could definitely see why Issa felt like it was a yes. The end of that scene, after Risha spots Issa and calls her over, Issa tries to initiate some kind of conversation with Nathan about what happened the other night, but she end up fucking it up. You know what I'm saying? Talking about, so we still friends or whatever. Like, I could tell in that moment, in that whole little exchange between Nathan and Issa, that Nathan was just trying to let Issa lead the conversation and kind of let her decide where, or not let her decide, but kind of inform him on how he should feel about what happened the other night. Because, that could be confusing. You call this girl call you over, whatever, y'all chilling. She asks you to stay, or you think y'all about to smash or whatever. And then she start crying and she fall asleep on you. You sneak out. She got problems with that. I get why Nathan was like, I'm going to be respectful. I ain't going to push on her or whatever. Wherever she want to move the conversation or our particular relationship, whichever direction she want to move it, I'm going to vibe with that. But like I was saying in the intro, right, this could have been communicated. Like, it didn't have to be, I'm going to let Issa be in control and walk us in the area or the direction that she wants us to go as far as our relationship. Nathan is an adult. Like, he could have simply said to her, in my opinion anyway, and this is not me coming down on Nathan because I fuck with Nathan. Y'all know that. I want Issa and Nathan to work. I would have just felt better about the episode or about their exchange had Nathan been a little bit more forthright about how he felt about the situation, and just kind of been like, hey, mixed signals or something. Like, just be real with this girl. Like, hey, I'm fucking with you, whatever. I don't know what last night was or the other night was, whatever, but I'm in a space where I don't want you playing with me like that because I like you. And if you're going to be like that, then we need to figure out what we're going to do. Like, just kind of open up a little bit. But like I said, I understand why he was kind of letting her take the reins. And he explained that, a few scenes later in the episode when he was having a conversation with his boys. But we'll get there. I just want to say, I knew Nathan wasn't tripping. I know it looked like he might have been whatever, and not feeling Issa crying in his mouth or whatever, but I knew, I said that on the review now, that he wasn't tripping. So, just want to say that. But moving forward, old boy showed up with the food finally. Was not barbecue like Nathan was intending, but it was pizza, except for the earthquake. Knocked everything out of Nathan's hand, killed the whole party. Y'all seen he was trying to move the shit. This was funny because Risha and Kelly, this is where their bond started to grow. Them almost dying in the tsunami. That shit was hilarious. Because when somebody said they basically almost did something, that mean they exaggerating. Risha talking about she basically almost died in the tsunami, and Kelly talking about me too. Yeah, exaggeration, but funny. I fought with Kelly and Risha. If you follow me on Twitter, you see me live tweeting the episode. I need them to be a duo because this shit that those two ladies got going on is funny as fuck. But yeah, we get in the car, like I said, with Nathan and his boys, and he spilling his guts about everything he's thinking and going through with Issa. And this is what I was saying. Like, I don't understand why it was so hard for him to communicate all of this to Issa, but then he gets in the car with homeboys or whatever, and that shit just come out. Now, being that I am a male, and I have homeboys as well that I feel comfortable speaking to about the inner workings of my life, I understand that comes with a different level of trust. You can let your guard down a little bit. You can be real, speak, especially when it's about women. For whatever reason, when guys, you know what I'm saying, we come together and we congregate and we get on the subject of women and our significant others, we tend to like to just be open with each other in a way that we wouldn't necessarily be with women, because we feel like as men we should be able to understand each other. So it's a bunch of shit in the conversation that we have that we don't have to explain to each other because we men. This fact, this thing that I know about men, because I experience this all the time with my dogs, does not mean that women cannot take this information if you give it to them. So Nathan sitting there, you know what I'm saying, talking about how confused he is and being like, okay, well, last year, you know what I'm saying, I gave her space and all this other shit. Like, I thought we was cool. She didn't want to be together, so I was chilling. She was trying to work shit out with her ex. Like, he went through this whole spiel just to say, like, I'm letting her take the lead because I don't want to fuck it up, or I don't know what could happen next, and I still like this girl, so I don't want it to go left. I want it to go right. But White just couldn't say that to Issa. You see the girl been trying to talk to you, and that's what old boy in the back pointed out. Like, this girl fucking with you, whatever. You know, moved the location of this party like 3 times because this earthquake got everything fucked up, and she bouncing with you. She rolling to the next spot. Like, it got to be more than just a lineup that she looking for. And of course, you know what I'm saying, wouldn't be God talk without a little bit of misogyny in there. Homeboy was talking about, this was Arik talking about well, he gonna line Molly up and, you know, get that neck wet and all this other shit. Got talk, man. I felt like Nathan, like, all right, now, come on now. Like, yes, this is this is Issa's homegirl, but like, be respectful, goddamn. But ultimately, the conversation led to pretty much them feeling like Nathan was friend zone, or at least Mo feeling like Nathan was friend zoned by Issa. And Arik was like, nah, push on that. She hanging around, so she must want more. And I agree. Like, I don't think it's a friend zone situation. I think you just not being straight up with your feelings, and so you're in the dark because you haven't kind of put Issa in a position to tell you what the fuck really going on. You kind of just playing it by ear with her. But that's me. But then I'm like kind of validated in my point and my stance with this, because in the next scene over with the Lyft driver and his crazy kill switch conspiracy, we see like the whole text message conversation happening between Molly and Issa and everything. She doing the same thing. She trying to let, you know, Nathan lead because she's too like caught up in the fact that the shit happened with her crying in his mouth that she don't want to just be direct and figure out what the fuck going on. She think he messing with Risha. In between Kelly and Risha bonding in the back of the lift, Molly popped out and was like, hey, you fucking Nathan or whatever. And like I said, Risha, nah, that's my brother or whatever. Like, if you trying to smash, like, let me know and I'll set that up for you. But Molly was like, nah, you know, I'll circle back if I need you. And that's some real nigga shit, by the way. Like, this how I knew, like, Issa and Molly, they back. Like, I don't think we ever seen Issa and Molly like this tight as friends. Like, I don't think we ever seen them this like healthy as a friendship. As a friendship, because I feel like from the beginning, season 1, there's always been like a level of dysfunctionality and toxicity between them or whatever that, you know, will cause friction between them as best friends as the season carried on. But ever since we like figured out what the fuck was going on with Issa and Molly in the first episode where they had the reunion at Stanford, shit has been really solid for them. They've been really showing up for each other as friends. Molly's really been supporting Issa in a way we have like never seen from her on this show. And I fuck with that because growth, okay? That's the name of the episode. They grew and they've evolved their friendship into something that really, really looks like a sisterhood. And I fuck with that. I like when TV shows like this can portray, black women, like, even though they going through their own personal issues in their separate lives, and even though they go through their own personal issues in the friend group or whatever, like, they still support each other and rock with each other in a way that's like, if they didn't have no family, they'll still be fine, because these friends that they have are like fucking amazing. So I fuck with Insecure for that. They do the same thing with the guys. Like, I don't think we've seen any conflict between the guy groups. Like, Lawrence and his group of guy friends, they always been tight. Same thing over here. This episode seems to be focused on Nathan or whatever, so we'll call it the Nathan episode. He and his particular friend group, outside of the cousin that we're going to find out about, or we're going to talk about later on, his friend group seems to be solid, and everybody's like vibing well. I just like seeing that. There's always some kind of dysfunction in these type episodes or these type of shows with black people, and I'm glad that it's just like regular real life. Like, we're growing up trying to understand how we're going to work as adults dysfunction, rather than it be like, oh, this nigga stole from me, and he's trying to take my spot on the block and all, the regular bullshit that be going on in these black TV shows. Drugs, violence, respect, money, power. But I like them kind of shows too, so I can't really talk. But yeah, I like how like hard Issa and Molly been riding for each other since we figured out if they gonna work or not after the Stanford episode. And it just a testament, like what I was saying earlier, to not being like direct and straight to the point about your feelings, because Molly was right. She was like, okay, you feel this way. She said this in the text message. You feel this way about Nathan or whatever in the situation or whatever, but what are you going to do about it? Like, what do you want to do? Just sit over here mad or whatever and looking crazy and trying to figure out what's going on through Nathan's mind without actually asking him the questions that'll give you those answers. Like, you can't do that. So what you going to do? I appreciate Molly for bringing Issa to that place. Because after the whole drama and the bullshit with Crenshaw being on Twitter, starting this whole hate train against Issa, this smear campaign against Issa because of their little situation at the show or whatever, I was happy that somebody was giving her some advice that was going to probably end the situation, making her happy. I did not like what happened with Crenshaw on Twitter or whatever. I think that is absolutely childish as fuck. I don't understand. This is another thing, another testament to what I was saying in the intro. Like, why is this grown individual, this grown man, having so much trouble communicating his feelings to the person that those feelings are directed at? Some people might say now, oh, putting it on Twitter and doing all of that or whatever, he feel like they've been wronged and shit like that. Like, they cool with that. I'm not. I'm not raised in this generation where putting my business on the internet, trying to hurt people and embarrass them and make people aware, random people and people that I know aware that me and this person have an issue via social media or whatever. Like, I ain't with all of that. This nigga had an issue with Issa. They worked together to put his fashion show together. Call me, text me, or Issa. See, I'm putting myself in it. Call Issa or text Issa, because this, I'm going to try to make you look bad on social media. It's making you look bad as well. Like, you don't think people, these brands, people with money that would love to support you, not looking at you like, oh, that energy. I don't like how he, like Koya said, tearing down his own on the internet and all this other shit, causing beef, starting this wave of hatred towards somebody. Like, brands and shit, they be looking at stuff like that. You want to be problematic and loud and disruptive and cause issue on the internet or whatever, people will cut you off from their checkbook. These brands will cut you off from their checkbook before they even tell you they're interested in giving you a check. So while you might feel like, or while Crenshaw might feel like he's getting his opinions off of his thoughts and feelings and whatever, and trying to put people on to fraud Issa, or Issa the fraud or whatever, like, you also making yourself look bad. It's tacky. Like, we got issue, come holler at me. I like that Issa DM'd him directly, but I also don't like that she DM'd him correctly because look what he did. Screenshotted it, posted it to Twitter, airing y'all business out even more. I don't fuck with shit like that. That's weird. It's corny. It's childish. It's not real nigga shit. Like, if you got an issue with a motherfucker, what you on the internet for involving all these extra eyes and ears? Holla at me directly. Like, what's the purpose of going on the internet, going around me with subtweets and hashtags and all this bullshit? Talk to me. I'm putting myself in it again. But yeah, that's how I felt about the Crenshaw situation. Like, it's just weird to see that kind of shit. Like, people got beef and issues, and y'all or some parties or whatever bringing it on the internet instead of just communicating to each other directly behind the scenes, or not even behind the scenes, because shit wouldn't be on the scene if people want to, you know what? Let me cut it out. Y'all get what I'm saying. Let's move on. Cause Kelly and Risha in the backseat of that fucking Lyft was hilarious. I really hope, cause Kelly invited her to the podcast in this episode. I hope Risha accepts the invitation, and I hope HBO Max and Issa Rae, they come together and make this a real podcast once the series concludes, or towards the end of, you know, the series, maybe the season finale or series finale. Damn, it's the last season. Fuck yeah. It's for the series finale, they turn the podcast into a real thing, because Kelly and Risha are fucking hilarious together. And Risha be asking the preguntas that Kelly want answers to. So I feel like we would have a very fun time listening to those two young ladies discuss the preguntas of life and growth and manifestation. Some other cornball shit, on the other hand, that I came across in this episode that I was not fucking with. Johnny and Arik, like, and they thirst level for Molly, beefing over her attention or whatever. Like, shout out to Molly, because you got these niggas' heads wrapped up. I'm fucking with that. I don't do you. Live your life. I love it. I love it for you. Like, be out there, you know what I'm saying? Liberate yourself. Do whatever you need to do to feel good. Or, you know, just live your life however you want to live it to. I'm fucking with that. But these two niggas, Johnny in particular, calling Arik a bitch, I was not fucking with that. When they panned the camera over and you see Kelly and Risha looking like, oh shit, like, why he coming all aggressive like that? That's how I was looking like, bruh, I don't mind, like, I don't mind competing with you for this girl's attention, but don't disrespect me, nigga. Like, it don't have to be all of that. She gonna fuck who she wanna fuck regardless of what is said or what you try to do to make me look or sound cornier than you. Don't call me no bitch, bro. Like, we not, they supposed to be friends, Johnny and Arik. Y'all trying to compete for this girl's attention, that's one thing, but why I gotta be all that? Johnny. Again, niggas that don't know how to communicate, because I'm like, what the fuck? But in that episode, or that scene, I should say, because that's what I meant. In that scene, I meant, we got that classic, back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all on me.
Back then hoes didn't want me, now I'm hot hoes all on me. Back then hoes didn't want me, now I'm hot hoes all on me.
I too turned up. That's music from my generation, from my time period growing up, back before I was considered an adult. Like Mike Jones, back then they didn't want me, now I'm hot, they all on me. 281-330-8004. I remember that shit. That shit was lit. Shout out to Nathan for being from Houston and making sure, because I believe the original, like the actor Kendrick Sampson, is also from Houston. I could be wrong. I hope I'm not, but I feel like I'm right. Even if I'm not right, my bad. But yeah, I also fuck with the fact that he said Nathan like finally got to talk a little bit, and she got straight to the point, you know what I'm saying, about asking him why he left in the middle of the night. Nathan tried to joke out of it or whatever, but Issa stood her ground. Like, she smirked a little bit, but she was dead ass. Like, why the fuck you left in the middle of the night? And Nathan being like, I didn't know our relationship had expectations or whatever. Like, that's a real response. Like, you asking me why I left in the middle of the night, but like, why? I'm grown. You expected me to stay. That's what Issa said. I expected you to be there when I woke up, whatever. But we don't have no expectations. Like, when did we decide that we were going to expect things of one another outside of our business dealings and outside of our friendship? This is why I said niggas need to just talk and be direct like they were. They made headway in this conversation by just being direct with one another in that very small conversation. I'm saying small because, of course, Issa and Nathan were interrupted by Nathan's cousin and his wife. And this is where the episode started to get like extra interesting, right? Because I sensed the tension as soon as the wife spoke. You know what I'm saying? Nathan came with that dry ass acknowledgement of her or whatever. I thought, just like everybody else, oh, they fucked or whatever. The cousin don't know. It's some hidden secret, deep dark. You know what I'm saying? Like, this secret coming out could fuck up the family type of shit. But we find out, later in the episode what that was really about. I just caught the energy there and I was like, damn, what the fuck happened with Nathan and his cousin's wife? But that scene moves quickly into everybody, chilling and just having a good time. Nathan and his cousin are, reminiscing, which is dope because then it gives us a little like backstory on Nathan before, Issa and everybody on the show got introduced to him, like, character-wise, fictionally or whatever. And it was also dope because this gave Issa an opportunity to stand up for Nathan when everybody was cracking jokes, calling this nigga a light-skinned leaf, blowing away and shit at the slightest turn of the wind. Like, she stood up for him. She made sure people understood how important Nathan was to her, whatever. That earned her some brownie points. I seen that smile he gave her. I'm like, yeah, that's what's up. And as a nigga who's been in that position before where people like trying to be funny while you got somebody with you that you are interested in or whatever, and then they turn around and stand up for you, that shit feel good. So shout out to Issa for that, because after the way the conversation got cut short by the cousin, I didn't know if they was gonna be able to like bounce back from that in like a legitimate way. Meaning, I didn't know if they were gonna be able to bounce back from that in a way that felt like the conversation was gonna move forward once they got some more alone time and they was really gonna figure out things. Because they was leaving it kind of like, well, I guess that's the wrap on that. That's what Nathan said to close shit out before the cousin walked up. I guess that's a wrap or something. He said they sold it up or whatever. But glad this scene happened. We get more on, Nathan and his backstory. They had a cool little moment of sticking up for, or Issa sticking up for Nathan. Oh, that was dope. This scene also showed us that it looked like Arik is in the lead over Johnny and Mr. Jingles. And I appreciate that because Johnny, with his bitch comment, like, I don't like shit like that. Like, women are fucking amazing. They are very, very amazing human beings. I love women. Shout out to women. You don't have to disrespect me over no damn woman. At the same time, as dope as I think women are, as amazing as I think women are, as beautiful, all the positive words you could think of to describe a woman, as much as I feel that shit from women, I'm not about to beef with no other nigga over no woman. And you're not about to disrespect me over no woman. So I'm glad that Arik is the one that Molly chose to ride with to the fucking Jason Derulo concert, and you about to take your lame ass home and let Mr. Jingles out. But yeah, I made mention of Molly riding with Arik to the Jason Derulo concert. Apparently he got the plug to get in. This shit was funny because Mo, I don't know why, has this like weird like man crush on Jason Derulo. That shit was funny. Kelly and Risha having a breakthrough moment over over taquitos and Tostito. Like this whole scene was just hilarious. Jokes throughout. I want to know what the fuck Kelly and Risha got going on that's having them having this breakthrough moment. And we got to find out Kelly was saying a whole lot of shit about having a dream that her mom was on a hamster wheel and she ate her mom because she ain't had no food. Like, it was a lot going on. But them niggas funny. And I really, really, really hope that we get to see Kelly's Preguntas special guest hosting Risha, and they talking about their life and manifestation, and all that shit. I can't even talk. But yeah, wife had to leave. She went back to the house. Cousin ended up hanging out with them. Them bonding in the lift was dope. I feel like Nathan, well, he said it like it's the first time it had felt like home for him in a while, just him hanging out with his cousins again. And I like that for Nathan. We all know that he has bipolar disorder and maybe some other mental health like dealings that we haven't necessarily talked about or that I just can't remember right now. But as a character, I feel for him. I'm glad that he's finding a sense of balance and stability, because I understand what the fuck that feels like to just, you know what I'm saying, not necessarily be or feel like you're at your best for all these extenuating external circumstances that are causing things to happen that you don't necessarily understand. So glad that Nathan is, finding a way to ground himself and feel more stable as a human being. We got Immature Crenshaw on Twitter, still being immature. Well, I spoke about that already. Ain't finna get that too much more energy. But be direct with a motherfucker. God damn. We already spoke about this. He was being a baby. Issa DM'd him. He posted the screenshot of the DM. That was corny. I don't fuck with shit like that. But Ari and Malik getting closer or whatever, that shit was funny because he's like, oh, what's that symbol? He like the Chinese symbol for good dick. And I feel like Arik, what's his name, is running game, but he don't know. Molly is not even. She passed that shit. She just like, if I fuck with you, I'ma fuck. You ain't gotta lie and shit. Cause come on now, you got good dick tattooed on your arm. I mean, it's possible. Arik do give that kind of energy to them kind of niggas. Like, I think him and Chad would be good friends. But I just found that to be interesting. They got to the thing though. Mo talking about I'm trying to fight, I'm trying to tussle. That shit took me out. That shit took me out because I remember that Jason Derulo video, like when he redid Pootie's, not when he redid, but he made a TikTok to LPB Pootie's song. That nigga's from here, LPB Pootie's from my city or whatever. So when that shit happened, people was like, oh shit, this nigga might be, he might make it or whatever. He's going on to have some sort of rap career and be successful, but we're not talking about that nigga. The fight I want to tussle was fucking funny. He did the moves. This nigga's a huge Jason Derulo fan. Molly's Nani is saying yes to Arik. But Arik can only get one person in the club. So Mo is sad he's not going to see Jason Derulo. He made that sad ass Jason Derulo, that sad ass noise. That man funny, bro. But after the whole Jason Derulo situation is cleared up, we get into a little bit more serious stuff, right? Because Nathan and his cousin, they finally get to talk. And he reveals to Nathan that he was the one that wanted Nathan gone and his wife just took the blame for it or whatever. Again, why can't grown niggas just communicate their feelings? Now, I will say, right, he did do that in this situation. Nathan had to press him a little bit to get the information up out of him. But when he realized, okay, Nathan's not going to let this go, I might as well just tell him now. This is years since this happened. We passed it now. I might as well just speak on it. I appreciate that. But, nigga, you could have said that in a moment. I'm pretty sure Nathan would have respected you and your wife a lot more in the moment had you came to him instead of letting your wife do it. Had you said, like, listen, bro, I fuck with you, I love you, my cousin and everything or whatever, always gonna be family, but you got to go. Because you on some shit right now. I got kids at the house, I got a wife and a family to protect. You're leaving doors unlocked. Like, the man brought up valid reasons as to why him and his wife and his family needed Nathan to move out. So just me listening to it, right, I'm like, these are valid reasons and concerns. Why put it on your wife? Like, if I'm making valid points and claims and valid critique of something, if I'm making valid points when it comes to a situation between me and you, I'm not going to have any problem bringing that to you. I'm not going to put that on somebody else to deliver, because we're not in the wrong. I'm not in the wrong. You are. So I have no problem like just sitting you down and being like, this is where you had me fucked up at. Still love you, but we got to make some changes. Why he felt the need to let his wife do it. Maybe he wanted to kick him out, but he didn't have the heart to. That's what I was getting from it. But at the same time, like, you grown. Maybe instead of kicking him out, you just explain to him, like, this is what's going on. I need you to change it, or you're going to have to go. Give him the choice to decide, like, yeah, I can't do this no more. Or, yeah, my bad, I see what you're saying. You got family here, wife, kids. I'm going to be more respectful of your house. Appreciate you for letting me stay here. But he didn't do that. He put it on the wife, made Nathan and this woman have this, smoke between them that don't need to be there, because you could have just spoke on that yourself and told this man how you feel or how you felt about him treating your home. I don't get why we sidestepping here. I don't get why Nathan has such issue expressing himself to Issa, or was so comfortable, or just in the mind state, I'm going to let her take the lead, I'm going to just follow. But then you get in the car, all your feelings come out to your boys. I don't get why Crenshaw is on the internet doing all this corny shit when you got Issa's number and she ain't having a problem DM you directly. Y'all could have talked that out. If you want to meet her in person, y'all could have talked that out in the DM. She reached out to you. Now, mind you, Issa did come in the DM talking spicy or whatever. She did come in there talking crazy, calling the man weird and all this other shit. And look what I did for you. But at the same time, a conversation was initiated. So have it. Instead of being like, oh, fuck that, I'm finna expose this motherfucker some more. But I'm also in the mind frame that this show is about, millennials like myself. I'm pretty sure all or most of these characters are the same age or like a year older or a year younger than me or whatever. So we all in the same kind of headspace. I get it. You know what I'm saying? We still, young adults. We're still young human beings. Like, we're not elderly yet. Like, we still young. So we're still trying to work out some shit as far as being kind and compassionate and considerate and having, better communication skills with one another. That don't take away from the fact that these niggas should know how to talk by now, because what the fuck. But I digress. After Nathan's cousin dropped the bomb on him or the news on him or whatever about their whole living situation, I respect the fact that Nathan was like, I needed a minute or whatever, but I'm glad that Issa followed him. When he was like, I just need a minute, and he walked off real slow, whatever, I was sitting watching the episode like, go Issa, follow this nigga. I know he said he want a minute, but that don't mean he want to be alone. He just want to get away from all the noise and the distraction happening at the Jason Derulo party. Like, just go be with this nigga, console him. He clearly going through something. Like, this is your opportunity to show this nigga, like, there's something there. Like, do it. So she went. I was happy about that. I felt for Nathan, like, for real. I've been there so many times where you just like bouncing around with life or whatever, making changes as you go and confusing people. And at the end of the day, you just want them to see you doing good. That's real as fuck to me. That's so relatable. I'm in that space right now, as a matter of fact. Like, I just want the people around me to know I'm gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to just see me doing good and to help and give back. So I really fuck with Nathan's mindset with that because I get it. Like life has been challenging. People done seen you get knocked down or whatever and try to get back up. So it's always, a goal to like make sure that you're doing your best to show people and let them know like I'm good. Like I know I fell before, but like I'm up, I'm good. Look at my progress. Be happy for me because I'm happy for me. Issa in the conversation, she also said, she was scared about getting her hopes up because she's been dealing with shit and she's always waiting for the other shoe to drop. That's real as fuck too. Again, in that same situation right now, stuff happens and it's not what you want to happen and it's more on the bad side or whatever. You get nervous and you be like, damn, you know what I'm saying? What else could go wrong? And you just be tensed up all the time waiting for the next terrible thing to happen that you just feel like it's on the horizon because there's other terrible shit going on. Like this whole conversation towards the end of the episode was real as fuck. Like very, very real, very, very relatable. I'm glad they had it. I'm glad Issa and Nathan finally got to talk after all the interruptions. You know what I'm saying? That I don't want to just be with you. And I always, or no, what Issa said, I don't want to just be friends with you. And Nathan was like, I don't want to be friends with you either. Like, that was good. That was good. I'm glad this is how we're starting to enter Nathan and Issa relationship with some real niggas speak. I don't want to just be friends with you. I don't want to be friends with you either. I was like, all right, feelings. I see y'all. But earthquake happens. Issa and Nathan are feeling something that I'm pretty sure is not just an earthquake. But we close the episode to a song Mango by Kalmayu featuring Adeline. I don't know if I said Kalmayu or how you pronounce that name, but I was able to find that song on Spotify, so I'm gonna play it. But before I do that, let's just wrap the episode with my final thoughts and predictions, right? Because I really enjoyed this episode. I'm glad we got more of Nathan's backstory. Like I said, Molly and Issa, they really like back, and I'm fucking with that. This the most that we've seen, in my opinion, it's the most that we've seen Molly and Issa like really be ride or die friends and support each other. I did notice in this episode that there was no Tiffany and Derek. Maybe they'll get an episode of their own, further in the season. Everybody who's been an integral character in this show, they getting their own episode. So I'm assuming that that's in the pipeline. I do want to see Issa and Nathan take things slow. I don't feel like they necessarily in the space to be in a relationship. They want to be in a relationship. They want to do right by each other, so they are in the space. So let me not say they're not in the space. But Issa just cried in this man's mouth about Lawrence, and Nathan is still dealing with his past and being this fucking elusive ghost that nobody can seem to tie down. So I don't know if right now it's going to be the best time, but I'm here for them trying to figure this shit out. Because, they seem to have built a solid bond working together, to put on the anniversary party for the shop or the clips. But, we'll see. Time will tell. We still have to see how they're going to allow Nathan's like mental health disorders to show up. And if that's going to be a cause in this, the situation, like, I don't know. But this episode did give me a greater appreciation of Nathan. I'm glad that they did it. Like, I'm starting to realize that I see a lot of myself in Nathan. The way he's handling Issa and stuff like that. If I was in his shoes, I would handle it the same way. I know I'm sitting here saying like, oh, be direct, say your mind or speak your mind, let her know what's going on, stop letting her just take the lead or whatever, speak so y'all can come to some kind of resolution. And I would do that in real life, but also I would also be very much like, okay, well, I don't want to overstep no boundaries. I know we have a complicated past or whatever, so I'm just going to stay chill, just go with the flow, let her decide what's going on. As you can see, that don't always work out for everybody. So I mean, I get it. But yeah, dope episode. Predictions: Issa and Crenshaw, they're gonna have a confrontation of some sorts. I don't expect it to be violence, bang bang, none of that. But Issa and Crenshaw, they're gonna talk. They need to. Hopefully, it happens outside of social media, like in real life. Hopefully. Other prediction: I think Nathan and Issa are gonna be doing good, but then Lawrence is gonna pop up, start causing trouble. I hope Issa is strong-minded enough to just stay focused on Nathan and trying to build that out. But Lawrence is fucking Lawrence. So we'll see. I hope that's not the situation, but we'll see. And then I also have a feeling that there's going to be an episode centered specifically around Kelly, Tiffany, and Derek. Don't know if Lawrence and, Condola and the baby will pop up in that episode. Don't know if Issa and Nathan will be, extras in that episode. Don't know if Risha's going to be a guide in the episode. But I do feel like Kelly, Tiffany, and Derek are going to come to some kind of reckoning within their specific unit of friendship. And things are going to change from there with that, that 3-person dynamic. That's just a prediction, though. I could be completely wrong. There was things that led me to believe that this could happen, but we'll discuss that in a later episode when it get there. Or you can just hit me on Twitter, and I'll tell you why I feel like that. But yeah, that's it, man. Episode 4, season 5 of Insecure. I think, are we 10 episodes this season? I believe. Either way, we coming up on the midway point. I'm excited. Shit is turning out to be dope. The stories are really, really good. I love the way that this show is being written and edited and filmed. Like, all of it is fire. And I can't wait. Holla at y'all next week about whatever's going to happen on episode 5. So, yeah. That's it. I'll catch you on the next one. Like I said, Twitter, Instagram, whatever the case might be, whatever social medias you want to look for me, BRIANSAPPH. I'm out. Mango by Kamayu featuring Adeline. Peace. I think I said it right. Either way, the song's called Mango. I'm out.
Even if it ain't from